Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Total War Rome 2 and our Empire Divided Palmyra series. Really quickly, if you are part of the frontline crowd, so to speak, if you are watching the series live as it goes up, sorry for the quiet front on the noon time slot for the past couple of days. That's not very often on the channel that happens, but that Stellaris Apocalypse content that I was working on really took a chunk out of my time. And it's been really good for the channel, so I'm happy with it, but it did force me to kind of reevaluate how I spent my recording time over the weekend. So sorry that it's been a few days since we've had a new episode here. I'm going to jump back into this campaign now and move forward from there. We have a really nice income at this point, like I pointed out at the end of the last episode, 9,804 gold per turn. Now that we are done with the battle we fought last episode, I want to take a moment and just kind of remind you and remind myself where we are on the campaign and how far along we are versus where we have to go. We'll look at victory objectives, we'll look at the territory we control, and we'll take a quick look at our armies as well and just kind of see how we're doing in the grand scheme of the map. So we control most of Africa right now. Carthage is still held by Hispania Citerior. That's the name of the faction we're fighting. There you go. And then we control Syrtis, Hadrimentum, and Leptis Magna. Let's turn on fast scrolling so it's a little faster. Again, as I jump around here and look at the map and how much we control, take a look down here at the mini-map to kind of see where the perspective is being taken with each movement. So we also control Phasania, the entire province of Phasania, which is Garama and Cidamus. Looks like public order is pretty good there. Public order is also really good in Africa, despite the fact that Carthage, the capital of the particular province, is held by a different faction. Public order is quite good. Banditry is also pretty low. Once we control Carthage, we'll have more income there. We control Libya. So Cyrene, Ammonium, Aguila, and Paratonian is completely within our control. Public order is good there too. Banditry a little bit worse. Asia, we control Pergamum, Pessinus, Ephesus, and Rhodos. So basically the way this is working is the game is scrolling me left to right across the map. So we might jump up and down north and south, but we're literally going west to east as we scroll through here, okay? See? This is the next province eastward, even though it's further south. So Alexandria, Diospolis, Memphis, and Myos Hormos are completely controlled by us. Nabatea, actually, you know what? Tell you what, let's go back to Alexandria, because what it's doing is it's using the location on the map and the city I have selected to pick the next province to scroll to. So if I do this, it actually scrolls me to a different province next. You can tell because when I try to scroll back, it doesn't take me right back to Egypt. Sorry, you can't really even necessarily tell that's what I'm trying to do from my perspective, but I can definitely tell it's not working as intended. So let me not click other cities, and we'll just go through this very manually, the way I just described. So we're going west to east. Here's Alexandria. We control Alexandria, Diospolis, Memphis, and Myos Hormos. Really, really good food output here in particular. It could be better, but I mean, we have some cities really focused on food production, and it'll continue to be that way. A little bit of banditry, so that's going to affect me a little bit. And then we also have, again, the province of Asia, Pergamum, Pessinus, Ephesus, and Rhodos, controlled by all of us. Controlled entirely by Palmyra, rather. Libya, we've already looked at. Oh, I'm doing a Total War Attila style scroll. It scrolls in the opposite direction in Total War Attila if you hit the same buttons. All right, and then Bithynia at Pontus is just Nicomedia at this point. Then Trapezus, Sinop, and Amasea are controlled by other factions. We may be in a war with Armenia soon-ish. Talked about that in the previous run of the series. It's going to be an interesting time because they control a lot of the Turkish peninsula, and I feel like eliminating that faction is going to be one of the first steps in moving away from, a kingdom and really having a Palmyran empire. So Galatia at Cappadocia is Ankara, modern-day Ankara, Turkey. Iconium, Caesarea, and Side. Remember, we conquered this pretty early on when we went to war with this part of the world. And then Judea is Aelia Capitolina, Tyros, and Salamis, all controlled by Palmyra. And of course, Syria, Antioch, Thapsacus, Tarsus, Samosata. And last but not least, oh wait, hang on, we've still got Petra as well, the only controlled city in Nabatea. Despite that, public order is still good here as well. Banditry pretty high, so we're going to have to deal with that too. And then Palmyra. Palmyra and Dura Europus are completely controlled by us. So that is it, I think. And Mesopotamia. So we have Edessa and Mesopotamia, mostly controlled by the Sassanids. Ctesiphon, of course, is their capital. Astarabad, Ardashir, and Hatra, which is up here, or Hatra, if you really want to be a pronunciation hawk. So let's now take a quick look at our armies. We have this army here, the Vanquishers of the East. They can't move anymore this turn because we're still in the turn from episode 20. We didn't advance last episode because we were fighting that battle. But this army is kind of sneaking their way through the desert, slowly but surely trying to find their way into Numidia. Now, Numidia is entirely controlled by Hispania Citerior. That's Capsa, Dimiti, Cartanis, and Lambaesis. but we are about to fully control that province. I think we're going to take it pretty quickly. We might even be able to muster an additional army, maybe? Hang on, let's take a quick look at our armies. I don't quite recall. Yes, we have room for many, many, many more armies and more fleets, and we have the income for it as well. So chances are, next episode, we're going to use some of our considerable income to, or not next episode, but the coming turn, we're going to use some of our considerable income to expand our armies and really start defending and expanding our territory simultaneously a lot more. So we have a spy down here now, down here near Ptolemais Theron, and that is, we have two factions, the Blemmyes and the Meroe, that are on the upper Nile. Again, the upper Nile is actually the part further down the river. The lower Nile is the part near the Mediterranean. And those factions are all that remains of kind of the Egyptian resistance. We do have a couple of dignitaries that are helping us maintain taxes in some of our more well-to-do provinces, so to speak. And then we have the Legion of Elagabalus, and they are the army that is in Ankara, helping to hold down that area. Now, Zenobia, the Legion of the Empress, is down here in Memphis, in Egypt, and I'm going to go ahead and move her towards Diospolis, because I want to have her personally come down and start taking on these guys down here. I think she can probably manage it herself. Her army's really strong at this point. We have a fleet up in Nicomedia, and I think we're one turn away from finishing a military wharf. So when that's done, not only is income going to go up in Nicomedia, but we will be able to train better units and finish out that fleet. So that's another thing we're going to train as we go forward. And I think that's it. And of course we have Zenobia's Chosen. We need to replenish this army because they took a pounding in the previous episode, but that won't be hard to do. We'll be able to buy those units in the very next turn. So without further ado, let's take a quick look at victory objectives just to remind ourselves of what we're going for here. Right now, in order to get the next portion of the map, we need to control Carthage, and we need to control Agrigentum. Okay, so we basically just need to take over this stuff, and we need to basically have, this is our way to Rome, is what the game is telling us. But we also have the bonus objective of maintaining trade relations with 8 factions, with a current total of 5. So I might go for that in a second. And check this out. I looked at this before the episode started. We have an objective to forge a defensive or military alliance with the Sassanids. If we do this, we'll get 3,000 gold from the game. And yeah, that will actually help us kind of hold things down in the east while we retake, a lot of formerly Roman territory. Or it's still Roman. Tetricus is just having a blast up here. He's kicking the crap out of Aurelian. Aurelian's factions is pretty much only in Greece. So Aurelian's faction is here in Athens, and then we have Sparta as well. I don't know where Aurelian is, but he really seems to be struggling at holding off Tetricus at all, which means Tetricus is going to be quite the opponent once the campaign continues a little bit further. Let me take a quick look over here as well, because I noticed also in between episodes we've got a bit of a loyalty problem with the Latin families. They're the ones that hate Easterners, so when we try and go for that deal with the Sassanids, if we do, they're not going to like it at all. I think the specific issue is, -2 loyalty for each Eastern faction when you have established diplomatic, with which you've established diplomatic treaties. And then, of course, they're a patriot. So -5 loyalty for every enemy army present on the player's territory. So they don't like it when we're being invaded. But they are not loyal to us at all. We don't have the money to secure their loyalty right now, but as you can see, we have a 22% chance of secession. So, need to deal with that. Now, the Greek families are led by a militarist, so military victories will make them more loyal, so we just need to keep expanding. They hate barbarians, so we shouldn't establish treaties with barbarian factions. And they are a diplomat. Okay, so interesting. If we have good relationships with other factions, the Greek families will like us a little bit more. Let's go ahead and end the turn. One more thing. Let's look at grand objectives just to remind us of where we're going. Our grand military victory objectives are to control the province of Latium, Pannonia, Gallia, Parthia, and Africa. Just to give you another perspective on that. There's Pannonia. There's Latium. And where's Gallia? Up here. So really it expects us to take all of this territory from Tetricus. We really need to reconquer the Roman Empire for Palmyra. The game will only count certain provinces towards that, and Parthia, of course, as well, which means we need to go to war with the Sassanids at some point in the future. Africa is almost ours. Gallia is going to be a while. Latium, maybe soon. We'll see. Right now, Tetricus controls Rome, so we would have to go to war with him. But Pannonia and Latium are probably next on the menu in this current run of episodes. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, those are the victory objectives. Let's go ahead and end the turn. We're 10 minutes in now. Making, again, 9,804 gold per turn. Right now. It's pretty freaking impressive. Sassanids, Roman pretenders. Yeah, okay. So, interesting. All right, so they're moving some armies around near Carthage. We have achieved the Governance 2 technology tier, and you can see our income went up as a result of that. I think we got a tax boost for finishing that. Some attrition, probably as a result of special seasons. Yes, the Stolen Eagle event. This was happening in episode 19 or 20 before the series went on break. The Legionaries who were I cannot read today. The Legionaries who were supposed to take care of the sacred object have been brought before you and await your decision with solemn expressions of despair. What should be done about the missing standard? So last time we searched for the eagle. Yeah, the thorough investigation, punish only soldiers responsible. We could still punish only the soldiers responsible, plus also use some money to get a new standard for the Legion. Let's do that, because I feel like that has positive benefits. Also, I think, we got a 10% tax rate boost and the Rome Restored tech. Now, that's not going to help us until we actually control Rome, but it's a nice setup for the future. And that is, that was our first level 2 economic tier. So now let's switch back over to military, do what I do, and we're going to go for, that's the one. We're going to go for Army 2 now. Now, when we finish this, we'll get extra experience ranks for all land recruits automatically. So our armies will start out more experienced as we recruit them. We're going to start, however, with reorganized cohorts. It's going to take 5 turns and give us access to the next level of siege engineers, auxiliary garrisons, and military training areas. Very, very good. Now, what are you doing? You realize I can kill you quite easily right now, right? Yeah, I'm just going to annihilate these guys really fast. Let's do a balanced stance. General leveled up as a result of that combat. So we just removed another army from this region. Okay, now that the general's leveled up, what can we do? Extra public order, extra zeal, or should we potentially pursue extra... I think we were going down this path for a reason, right? We could go for economic administrator now, which lowers corruption faction-wide. This guy is just... Now, Attius Malleolus, hang on, he is a part of our faction, right? Yeah, I think we adopted him. So we could secure a promotion for him. We might have some money to spend on promotions before we do too much elsewhere, but I'm going to go ahead and do the corruption reduction faction-wide, because I feel like that... Yeah, see? That just put our income up to 12,000, simply by giving him that promotion. Let's now go ahead and see what we can do about these units here. We've got our shot cav, we've got our 2 Palmyrene. I don't think we need to... Yeah, let's go ahead and train up another Palmyrene cohorts unit. Now, I need to train 2 more units, but of what type? I could train more cavalry. Have some more Palmyrene legionary cavalry. These are what? I can't tell what type of... Is that... medium shot cav, very heavy melee cav. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. So, very heavy melee cav, that's what the square means, I guess. I'm trying to... One thing I've never quite paid attention to in Rome 2, shame on me, is like the exact meaning of like the different shaped icons. So, these guys would be very heavy melee cavalry, whereas these are medium units, I guess. I could also right-click for further information, but I'll stick with that. And, see, I'm curious. I'm thinking maybe about doing 2 more land units, or maybe 2 more cavalry. I've got 5 cavalry right now. Having additional cavalry might not be the worst thing for this unit. You know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and do 2 more Palmyrene legionary cavalry. And that's their move. Now let's take this army. We're going to move them through the desert as far as they reasonably can move. But they're in ambush mode, because part of my objective in having them here is to stop these guys from trying to sneak down through the desert and do the same thing to me that I'm trying to do to them. So we're just trying to beat them to the punch. This spy just needs to establish a network near Ptolemais Theron. And now let's find our other armies. You can stay put in Ankara for now. I feel like that's a pretty advantageous position for you to be in. Okay, Zenobia is going to start moving down into this enemy territory. I don't want her to be detected, but I'm going to go ahead and move her all the way down without hiding her. So I am trespassing in their territory right now. That's fine, though. And yes, as I recall, we do need to go ahead and add some units here. Oh, we actually don't have that many options unless I were to add Scorpion Tree Rests, which I could do. Let's do 2 more there. I still have room for 2 more ships beyond that. And 1 turn until the Megapolis is finished building. And we have those building in a couple of cities, actually. So I might also, now that I've got those orders made, I might go ahead and... Yeah, we do need to continue expanding some of our cities here, especially in Egypt. Let me see. Gorama still needs one of its central promotions done, so let's do that. I'm going to focus my money on those in particular. Antioch. Ooh, hello. What should I put here? I could do an auxiliary camp in Antioch and really have a nice training center here for my army. Would that be... I feel like that might be a good idea. Maybe that's why I had that cleared. I can't quite remember. I could upgrade this, and it would reduce banditry a good bit in this province. Yeah, I think what I'll do is add the auxiliary camp here. Antioch, I like the idea of that being a recruiting ground. Now let's take another look, and again, I'm trying to prioritize mainly a little bit of extra food, probably not the worst thing here. Let's go ahead and do that, and that's most of my money. Oh, wait, you know what? Hang on, before I do that, let's jump over to factions, because I was looking at that loyalty problem, and this one in particular scares me. So we're going to go ahead and secure the loyalty of this faction. There we go. Risk just went way down for that. Now let's also take a look at potential promotions. I don't have the money for it anymore, of course, but I do, it seems, have the money to secure the loyalty of that other faction, so let's do that too. Now the risk is still at 1% for a secession, but this party is in positive loyalty again. Let's take a quick look also at trading factions. Who can I trade with that I'm not already trading with? Muscat?
I will do you the honor of listening to...
Nice. All right, so there's a trade deal. Now that didn't help us all that much, but it's giving us a couple hundred more gold per turn. And is there anyone else? Because again, this is going to give us help towards a bonus objective, but there are no factions. The Sassanids really don't like me.
I greet you in my master's feared name.
Okay, so maybe I can send them a few tributes, do a little bit of diplomacy, and see about improving relations with the Sassanids that way. Now, Pergamum, we really do need to reduce banditry up here. Maybe having a Vigiles Urbani in place would be a good idea here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll have a lot more to do next turn money-wise, including training up more armies like I was saying, but we're making a good bit more per turn. Let's go ahead and end the turn again. I think that's all I needed to do for now. Just make absolutely sure I've given orders to all of my units. Yep, I have. End turn. It'd be interesting to see what they do now, since they moved that army out. Marcomanni sailing down into the Mediterranean. What's going on there?
As long as Romans...
Nope. You do not get military access, sorry. Okay, they do have an army back in Carthage. I had a feeling they would do that because they had that army in that area. Zenobia. As soon as Wabalut passed the sentence, a brief silence fell over the hall. First, the merchant gasped in surprise. That's right. Then a muttering of approval came from the crowd. Then guards escorted the criminal out of the room. I spoke with him later that night, and he did drop a few names. The accomplices were rounded up, and it was again up to Wabalut to decide their fate. There was no place for mercy this time. So I remember we wanted to see if there was... We wanted to interrogate him to see if there's more information. And now it seems like maybe either Zenobia or Wabalut as her successor might have just gotten more cunning as a result. So we're kind of raising Zenobia's son. Again, I really like the narrative that they're setting up so far in Empire Divided. All right, so we could attack Carthage with Zenobia's chosen, but I think I'm going to wait for just a bit.
At your command.
Let's send this army up to... Let's see, should I hit Capsa first? Capsa is the capital of Numidia, so yeah, I think I should definitely go for the capital if I can manage it. Hang on. I'm going to move them a little bit at a time because I don't know. They might have an army in the area here.
Advance.
Okay, we're going to hide that army right there. I'm hoping that they try and send an army down and that I get to do a little bit more damage to them militarily. But I'll be okay if they don't. Okay, so here's Zenobia's force. Now we are going to hide them. Like that. We want to sneak down into their territory so that those guys don't know I'm here and they're not mad at me for, well, sneaking around in their territory and getting ready to take them over. Because that would be unfortunate. If I improve this now, I would reduce banditry a good bit in Alexandria. Why don't I go ahead and do that since Alexandria is such a strong province? Also, let's go ahead and queue up these town upgrades. Already have a Vigila Sorbani here, so let's work on improving that. Yeah, it's going to be pretty expensive to get all of these upgrades done, but we're making such a good income now. All right, Cidamus, this does not cost any money, actually. So, did we go with Mithraism? Is that mainly what I have in my territory? Let me take a quick look through. I've got Mithraism there. Mithraism there. And I can improve this and do even more. Let's go ahead and do that. It doesn't cost any money, but it does improve Mithraic cultural influence. Yeah, we did go with Mithraism. So let's keep that going here. Mithraic gathering. They have all the feasts. I like it. It's an interesting way to go, you know, religion-wise here. Alternate history and all that. Okay, so I think there's a few more upgrades we can do town-wise. Wasn't there one other one that I was seeing, or is it just the one? That's just the one. It's this one right here. Give me a little bit of extra wealth from local commerce, or I could wait for an auditorium, which I kind of want to do, but I also like the idea of this being a trader, because Leptis Magna is one of the symbolic cities of, you know, Libya's being kind of the Roman breadbasket, so to speak. Visania has an inspired populace. That's good. So their public order's going up. And let's go ahead and end the turn. Again. Almost through 25 minutes into this episode. Hard to believe that we've already been going that long. Looks like Gallic Rome is thinking about it. Are we at war with them? I can't recall if we're actually at war with Gallic Rome. Yes, we are.
With your famed wisdom,
Or not with Gallic Rome, just Rome. Alright, Hispania Citerior did not appear to make any significant moves, otherwise we would have seen them. Concealed agent has been found! And some of our patricians have leveled up. The eagle represents the Legion's glory and will one day be its legacy. Without it, there is no bond keeping the Legionaries together. Although the immediate delivery of a new banner comes at a price, the Legion's pride has been restored. The men are relieved and eager to prove themselves worthy of this honor. Their army has improved discipline. So this is the Legion of Elagabalus. They're all the way up in Ankara. Alright, so this agent's been discovered. Unfortunately. I'm still going to mess with him. We're going to go ahead and poison the provisions of this army. And she did level up as a result of that. So let's see. I think I was giving you additional poisoning. But yeah, that's right. So we already gave you that ability. Why don't I go ahead and give you the next one? So we're moving towards the ability to poison armies much more effectively. This patrician is higher level. Go ahead and select that. That gives a corruption benefit when we use his corruption ability to spread corruption in other factions. That's a distinct possibility. Now, yeah, we just got a new turn going, so Zenobia can move again. Let's go ahead and bring her down here. Now we've entered the territory of the Merowe, actually. So we're trespassing in a couple of different factions' territory. But we're actually close to Merowe. And then it's Axum and Ptolemais Theron that exist only. So, wait a minute. Random water at the edge of the map. That's not realistic. But yeah, we are close to being able to just attack Merowe. And I'm kind of hoping we might just be able to take it relatively quickly. That's that faction's only city. Now we have some additional monies at this point. I kind of want to make sure... Yeah, let's go ahead and give the Mithraic community to Hegementum. And that's going to be done in 5 turns. And I will go ahead and queue up these. Again, economically, it's just you can't not do these as soon as possible. Ooh, yeah, we're absolutely going to improve the cohortes urbanae there in Edessa because banditry is terrible. We still have a lot of money. Petra, same thing. Same thing here as well. And that's actually our money. Let's improve the Mithraic community there. So that should be... Mithraism should really be taking hold up here now, I think. I'm going to go ahead and do a military camp in Pergamum, obvious reasons. And let's end the turn. I'm going to go through one more turn before I end the episode, I think. Just doing a little bit to improve our economy and refamiliarize ourselves with all the things that are currently happening as Palmyra's economy grows here. Enemy armies land within our territory. I'm guessing that's that Roman army. Yep. So this veteran has leveled up. Is it? Yeah, this one has. So I could promote him, but I think that would stop him from being able to... Ooh, we could give him better military training, though. Ooh. Tell you what, let's go ahead and give him this so he has both military training abilities. That's actually a better choice right there than this one. And we'll upgrade that with his next promotion. But I don't think... Yeah, now that I've given him that promotion, this army can't move. Standard fare. Alright, so we did have this one Legio II Africana. Who are you, and what are you doing? That's so strange. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get an army training in... Let's see, what would be the best spot to train them? You can train an army in Libya. You can train them in Cyrene. Because, I mean, these buildings are ready to go. So let's go ahead and raise an army. I think, who would I rather have an additional... I think the Greek families, I would rather give an additional leader to, because the Latin families just are a little bit more ornery. They don't like foreigners, and we might try and make a deal with the Sassanids. So let's go ahead and raise forces and use one of these Greek generals. We have Quintus Aurelius Ebutianus. And then his effects... minus 10% sanitation, building construction costs, and plus 5 wealth from industry for the local province. So this, he could be good if we use him as we kind of move through territories and retake a lot. Yeah, let's go ahead and raise this army. And we're going to give him an Imperial Cataphracts units. We're going to put him in the town. We're going to upgrade his unit with the latest weapons. And now let's go ahead and... We're going to make this like a full complement, including with artillery. This will be our first artillery-based... God, the range on Ballista is just huge. They don't do as much damage, but they're amazing. The onagers are good against buildings. Yeah, and the missile damage is a little bit... I mean, I kind of would rather just use Roman Ballista, because, I mean, the missile damage is not that much... The ammunition is the same. I don't know, that's a good bit more damage when you multiply that by 15. That's 20 damage times 15. You know, so you're looking at what? 200? That's 300 altogether. It's amazing how much more difficult math is doing when you're playing a game and commentating at the same time. But let's see. Yeah, I think we'll go with onagers when it's time, but for now let's train up the other forces. We want the auxiliary Egyptian archers, just 4 of them, please. And then we need Palmyrene cohorts. We can also train the auxiliary Libyan infantry, which is better than some of the other infantry we have. And now we probably should go ahead and do... I'll tell you what, let's do 3 shot cav like we have in the other army. And then we're going to have 2 units of... Or just... Yeah, let's do 2 shot cav. And then 3... onagers. Okay, and that's our new army. That's training up in Cyrene. It's going to take 5 turns, but at least we'll have something that can help defend this area, since it looks like what's-his-face is thinking about doing some... I mean, he can't do anything with that one general, so I really don't know what he's doing, but he's thinking about what he might be able to accomplish with the army he has moving through my territory. Let me also, speaking of that, let me check with Zenobia, because I think I can move her again. Yes, I can. We're going to get a little bit closer to Merowe. We're not going to go just yet, but it looks like we're coming up on the ability to attack it. And we'll see about that in the very next episode. But I will go ahead and stop this one here because we've hit the 30-minute mark. In the next one, like I said, we're going to move on Merowe. We're going to have that army training up in Cyrene. We're also probably going to train an additional army, frankly, because we can afford it. And then this army, Zenobia's Chosen, is very likely to go ahead and move on Carthage in the next episode as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at noon Eastern Time. Except for the last 2 days. Sorry about that. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.